Hi there, Mark Jabin here, Medical Director for the Haywood County Health Department, and let's talk about this pandemic. Time again for the weekly update. And the story remains the same this week, an upward trend almost everywhere as the Delta variant dominates. And for some in our region, some really big increases. So please share this with someone you care about. Across the country, notice how the red zones have spread over the past 6 weeks. From Missouri, across the Gulf Coast. There were 4 states in the red zone last week, 9 states this week. Florida, again, at the highest levels in the country, and now at levels similar to what was seen last winter. Our neighbor states also tell the same story over the past 3 weeks. Georgia, look at all the red now there, and Tennessee, all that green 3 weeks ago, and the change currently. For North Carolina, you can see the marked increase in cases that we've seen. 3 weeks ago, we were just below 300 on a daily average. Last week, 800. This week, 1,230 average new cases a day. Hospitalizations have doubled in the state, and deaths are up just a bit. But as we have seen before, hospitalizations and deaths lag the increase in cases. Last week, North Carolina, no counties in the red. This week, there are 7. In western North Carolina, 3 weeks ago, we had 6 counties in the green. Now, none in the green. We've gone from 1 in the orange over that time, now to 7 in the orange. And you can see for yourself the change over just the past 2 weeks. This past week, with a further increase after increases the previous week for everyone, except Graham, which has been in the orange for several weeks now, and Macon, which has kept their cases low for now. And note the large increases in not just the rate, but in the actual number of new cases per week, especially for Buncombe and Henderson. As far as testing, everyone except for Macon with significant increases this week. Of the 6 western North Carolina counties reporting, now 4 of the 6 above the important threshold of 5%, and 1 is at 4.9. For Haywood County, we are now at 4,592, that's 4,592 cases. And you can see on the curve that the total is now veering above the predicted number. The week-over-week increase of 46 after last week's increase of 42, so thankfully the rate has flattened a bit. But this did put us back into the orange zone, indicating significant community spread. And the week-over-week curve now looks very similar to where we were at this exact time last summer. No additional deaths this week, although there was a definite uptick in our fellow citizens being hospitalized. As far as risk when you go out and about around others, there is now a 10% chance that in a group of 50 there will be at least 1 person positive. 20% chance in a group of 100. And for some perspective, consider Duval County, Florida, now in the red zone, where there's a 50% chance that someone in a group of 50 will be positive. In Haywood County, in the month of July so far, there have been 83 positive cases reported. And the breakdown of ages shows that between ages 40 and 60, 23, 20 to 40, 28, greater than 60, 22, and less than 20, 12, 4 of those under the age of 12. So you can see the distribution is not that much different right now than it's been all along. And more people have been willing to share contact tracing information with us over the past week, so thank you very much for that. And because contact tracing is really the key tool to try and keep this from getting totally out of control. I am aware now of 21 people in Haywood County fully vaccinated who subsequently tested positive. That's 21 out of nearly 30,000 people vaccinated. And of those 21, 11 are older than 65, and of those, 2 were hospitalized, 1 of them in the ICU. So here's what we can say. Delta now represents about 83% of new cases nationwide. 3 weeks ago, it was 20%. That's exponential spread. The curve of cases in North Carolina is on the same trajectory as what we've seen with the other surges in the state. But if there's any bright spot, at least for Haywood County in this week's report, the week-over-week trajectory flattened a bit from the brisk increase last week. Looking similar now to the trajectory after Easter and spring break, which, as you recall, thankfully slowed before getting too high. Now, whether this is a pause in the upward trend or a true peak, we will have to see. But for now, be well and be careful. especially right now.